Hello, I'm Janae Tibshirani with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is where you get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. The price people pay for milk and dairy products in China has dropped over the past year, despite food prices rising across the board. Milk and dairy product prices dropped 1.2% year on year when averaging the January to July change. This is despite food prices rising 2.1%, with veggies up 5.3% and grain up 2.5%. On the bright side for New Zealand exporters, the price of beef rose 1.3%. Rising food prices have largely contributed to China's consumer price index increasing by 1.3% over the year. On the topic of dairy, futures markets are predicting the price of whole milk powder will increase a further 10% at Wednesday morning's global dairy trade auction. Standard & Poor's has downgraded Brazil's credit rating to junk grade despite the government's efforts to regain investors' trust and pull Latin America's largest economy out of recession. The faster-than-anticipated downgrade from investment grade has rocked Brazilian financial markets and will increase borrowing costs for the government and Brazilian companies. Brazilian assets will also suffer as the risk of investment rises. The US job market is continuing to gain momentum. The number of claims for unemployment benefits dropped in the week to September 5th, marking the 27th week claims remained below the 300,000 threshold, which is usually a sign of a strengthening labour market. Yet weak inflation pressures will complicate the Fed's decision whether to raise interest rates. US import prices fell 1.8% last month as the cost of petrol and other goods dropped. Import prices in the US have declined in 12 of the last 14 months. In New York, the US Treasury 10-year benchmark is down slightly to 2.22%. New Zealand 1 to 5 year swap rates have dropped 8 to 9 basis points following the guidance from the Reserve Bank's monetary policy statement. If these levels continue, banks will have the room to cut fixed mortgage rates even further. The US benchmark oil price has inched up to just below $46 a barrel, while the Brent benchmark is at $49 a barrel. The gold price has risen today, but is still very low at $1,111 an ounce. The New Zealand dollar is making some gains against the US, following its plunge after the OCR was cut yesterday. It's now at 63.1 US cents. The dollar's dropped nearly 2 cents to 89 Australian cents due to a mixture of our OCR cut and fairly upbeat employment data released across the Tasman. The dollar's fallen to 55.9 euro cents and the TWI has dropped to 67.5. I'm Janae Tibshirani and that was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.